Waiting, I can tell, and he's a lot more muscular than me, so I better give him his way. Please welcome to the stage the one and only James Husby!
Hello. Well, thank you all for coming today. It is a real privilege for me to be able to come and talk to you about something so important. It's actually a real privilege to be able to talk about anything at all after last year. And I don't take this responsibility lightly. I hope today that what I talk about can inspire some of the vegans here to become more active vegans. And I hope for the people that are here who are not yet vegan, I hope you'll understand why vegans are so passionate, and at the very least, I hope what I say today will inspire you to look further into veganism and why it is so important. I'm going to use the experiences that I went through last year to explain why I've come to some of the conclusions that I've come to. And I hope through those experiences you'll be able to take home a few things to use for yourself. I want to start by explaining what I did last year. Last year I took a 365-day vow of silence, which means no talking. I travelled around the country for that year and I promoted veganism and animal rights. And I did that without a voice. So I was writing a blog, and every person that would come into contact with me, they would get a heavy dose of why I was doing a vow of silence, and I communicate that in different ways. I also I volunteered at animal rescue farms. I snuck my way into a few factory farms to see the cruelties for myself, so I could know firsthand what we were up against. And I also cycled from Darwin to Sydney to show that vegans can be healthy, fit and ripped. Calm down. Okay, so I wanted to start by explaining two things that really shocked me when I went vegan. And the first thing was, I was absolutely shocked at how few vegans there are. I mean, everybody says that they're against animal cruelty. Everybody hates animal cruelty so much. And yet, there are so few vegans who are actually living consistently with that belief. That shocked me. I thought maybe it's 50-50 at least. It's more like 99.9% of people hate animal cruelty, and 90+% of people contribute to animal cruelty at least 3 times a day. So this blew my mind. The second thing that shocked me was how much resistance there is when you bring up veganism with someone. In the ideal world, and in the way that I thought this would happen, you say to someone, you see a friend drinking a glass of milk or something, and you say, "Hey brother, do you know how that milk came about? Have you ever thought about what happened to the cow for you to be drinking her baby's milk?" And your mate in the ideal world will go, "Nah, what happened? Tell me about it." And you say, "Well, brother, first of all, a cow is forcibly impregnated. They have a pregnancy for 9 months, just like a human. And then their babies are taken from her at birth. The female babies, the little girls, the male babies, they're sent straight to the slaughterhouse because they do not produce any milk. And so they're deemed a waste product from the dairy industry. This is little baby boys. And the baby girls have the same fate as their mother. Forcibly impregnated, babies stolen from them and killed. They're hooked up to painful milking machines, and they go through this cycle over and over again, used as a machine for about 6 years, until they cannot do this any longer and they collapse for the last time. they're then sent to the slaughterhouse, the same one as their babies. And your mate in the ideal world would go, "What? I had no idea." And you go, "Me either, bro. Like, I didn't know either." And your mate will go, "What do I do?" And you're like, "Well, first things, man, don't buy any more cow's milk, because it's us creating the demand for these products that creates these cruelties to animals. So don't buy any more milk, but don't buy any dairy products either. Don't buy any cheese. Don't buy any, what else is there? Like cream. Yeah, ice cream and yogurt and that. Buy the vegan options of these versions. Buy the vegan versions of these products. They've got them at the same supermarket. That's all you got to do. But don't stop at dairy, bro. First of all, dairy, but everything else as well. You have to stop buying all animal products, because all animal products come with it a horrific amount of the worst animal cruelties that you can imagine. And he's like, "Okay." And you go, "So that means you go vegan. You stop, by going vegan, you are no longer contributing to the vast amounts of cruelty happening to these animals. You don't consume animal products, and you do not support the exploitation of innocent beings." And in the ideal world, your friend will say, "How could I not go vegan, man? Of course I'm going to go vegan. I hate animal cruelty. This makes perfect sense. I don't know why I haven't thought of this before." And you go, "Yeah, bro, like, vegan's the way." And then he says, "I'm going to go tell everyone." And you go, "Yeah, go and spread the vegan love, my friend." And that's what happens in the ideal world. That's how I thought the conversations would go. In the real world, it goes like this. "Hey, brother, have you ever thought about why you're drinking cow's milk, like cow's baby milk?" And your friend will go, "Shut up, man. Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to know. Don't ruin my food. My animals are killed humanely anyway. Plants have feelings too. And if we don't eat the animals, well, then they're going to eat us." That's the real world. There's two reasons, I think, why this happens. The first reason is because we have all been brought up into a world that is telling us lies, that is conditioning us from day one to believe lies. We were all the same before. When we weren't vegan, we believed the lies too. Such as, we need calcium from milk so that we can get strong bones, when in fact the calcium from milk leaches calcium from our bones. We were told we need animal flesh for protein, when in fact there's protein in all plant foods, more than enough, and the animal protein is actually detrimental to our health, many studies say. We've been told that animals are inferior to humans, when in fact humans are animals, and we, in the ways that matter, are the same. We all have a brain, we all have a heart, we have friends, we have families, we care for our young, we have feelings and emotions, and we desire pleasure, and we do not want pain. We've been told so many lies. The biggest lie that I believed was that we need to eat animal products to survive. I believed that for 26 years. And I feel very lucky, like I'm sure everyone here who's vegan now feels very lucky to have learned some of the truth. The second thing I think, first let me just say a bit more about that. I think it is our job as vegans, and one of the best forms of advocacy that we can do to help animals, is to learn these myths and learn these lies that people believe, that everyone believes, and learn the answers to them. Because there is an answer to every single one of these lies, and the answer comes in the form of the truth. We can learn these answers, and that is how we can help other people to understand what we are so lucky enough to have come to understand. By taking out each myth, one by one. I don't know about you, but I didn't go vegan because someone was yelling at me, telling me you have to go vegan, man. I went vegan when I learned that all the lies I believed were in fact false. And if we don't need to eat animal products to survive, then what are we doing this to animals for? The second reason why I think there's so much resistance to people going vegan, is because of the way that vegans often advocate for veganism. You tell me, what is the general way that the public view vegans? Anybody? Annoying? What else? Preachy? Angry? Extremists, yeah. Okay. People view vegans as angry and as extreme, among other things. Now, we have every right to be angry because what's happening to animals is horrific, and we do have a right to be angry on their behalf. But is that the best way to advocate for animals? Some of the most effective vegan advocates out there are actually quite aggressive in their approach, and they're quite angry. And that has worked for them to a point. They've been able to reach a certain amount of people with their particular way of advocating veganism. Is that the best way to advocate veganism? Is that going to work for all of us? I don't think so. In fact, I think it's great that they're doing it that way, but let's not all try to do it the same way they do, because we're missing out on all the other people who do not respond to that approach. My experience has shown me that the most effective way to advocate for veganism without so much resistance is to come from a place of understanding, a place of peace and respect to other people. We do not need to respect the person's actions to be able to respect the person. Like I said, they are just confused. They are against animal cruelty, just like we were. It's not their fault that they have been brainwashed into a world that says, love these animals, but kill and eat these animals. This isn't their fault. And I think by getting angry at these people, we are just pushing them away. I think a better way is to say, mate, I understand where you're coming from. I used to believe exactly what you believe, but this is the facts. We do not need to blame and shame. We can inform and explain. And that's all we need to do. We do not need to be angry vegans, because the truth is powerful enough. That's all we need to help people understand that what we're doing to animals is wrong, and to help teach them how to change. So what are the best ways that we can advocate veganism in a peaceful way? There are so many ways. There's some of the things that I did last year. I did a stunt. I took a 365-day vow of silence to raise awareness for animals. They're really effective if anyone wants to take one of those. During that year, I also, like I said, I cycled from Darwin to Sydney. So if you're an athlete or you're strong, you can make it clear that what you are doing is fueled by vegan food. You can get people to come to your house and watch documentaries. You can cook amazing food for your friends and events. You can promote veganism by wearing shirts, by getting vegan tattoos on your skin. You can promote veganism one-on-one with your friends and just tell them in a calm and peaceful way why you've decided to go vegan. We don't need to be afraid to share this information. Think of how glad and lucky we are that we know what we know now. Spread that gift to other people. There are so many ways we can advocate in a peaceful way. But focus on your strengths. Focus on what you are good at. And then use that, because we are all good at something and we all have a voice. Animals cannot do this without us. We are the privileged few who have woken up to the lies, who understand the truth, and it is up to us to promote veganism and the end of animal exploitation for the animals. That is our duty, and it is up to us all to speak loud and be their voice. Thank you. Thanks. Any questions? That's good. It was very clear then. Perfect. All right.